Everyone thinks respect comes from confidence. But what if the real reason people overlook you is something much quieter and way more damaging? It's not your skills, it's not your looks. It's a subtle pattern in your behavior that tells people, without words, I'm safe to ignore. And once people label you that way, it's incredibly hard to break free, unless you know exactly what to change. Meet Ryan. Same job, same people, same routines, yet somehow no one really noticed him. In meetings, his ideas floated into the air and vanished. In conversations, people talked over him like he wasn't even there. And the strange part, he was actually smart, capable, observant. But none of that mattered because of one invisible signal he kept sending over and over again. Here's where it gets interesting. One afternoon, something small happened that completely shifted how people saw him. Not a promotion, not a big speech, just a tiny behavioral change that made the entire room react differently. But before we reveal that moment, you need to understand the pattern that kept him invisible for so long. The human brain loves shortcuts. It quickly categorizes people: leader, follower, background noise. And once you're placed into one of those boxes, people stop questioning it. Ryan had unknowingly trained everyone around him to see him as background noise, always agreeable, always available, never disruptive, predictable. Now here's the problem. Predictability feels safe, but it also feels forgettable. When people know exactly how you'll react, they stop paying attention. You become part of the environment, like a chair in the room. Useful, maybe, but not important. So Ryan did something unexpected. During a routine meeting, when everyone assumed he'd quietly agree, he paused. The room stayed still for a second. People glanced at him, confused. Then he said, calmly, "I don't think that approach will work." Silence. Real silence. The kind that makes people uncomfortable. Watch this carefully. No one interrupted him this time. No one talked over him. Their faces shifted, not dramatically, but enough. Curiosity replaced dismissal. Why? Because he broke the pattern. And when you break a pattern, the brain wakes up. But that was just the beginning. There was another habit quietly draining his presence, and most people don't even realize they're doing it. It's how you treat your own time. Think about this. When someone calls your name, do you instantly turn? When your phone buzzes, do you respond immediately? Ryan used to, every time. And without realizing it, he was sending a message: I'm always available. I have no priorities above you. Here's the shift. The next time someone called his name mid-conversation, he didn't react instantly. He finished his sentence first. Then he turned. Just a 2-second delay, but it changed everything. Suddenly, he wasn't reacting. He was choosing. And people noticed, not consciously, but emotionally. Because when you treat your time like it has value, others start adjusting their behavior around you. It's subtle, but powerful. Now here's a behavior that quietly destroys respect faster than anything else. And once you see it, you won't be able to unsee it. Over-apologizing. Ryan used to say sorry for everything. Sorry for asking questions, sorry for walking past someone, sorry for existing in shared space. And each time, he was reinforcing a dangerous message: I'm a problem. So he changed one thing. Instead of saying, I'm sorry I'm late, he said, thanks for waiting. Instead of sorry to bother you, he said, got a minute? The words were different, but more importantly, the energy was different. People responded differently too. Their tone shifted, their attention sharpened, because he no longer sounded like someone asking for permission to exist. Now let's talk about something most people are terrified of: silence. In conversations, silence feels awkward, so people rush to fill it. They talk too much, they explain too much, they reveal too much. But Ryan started experimenting. When someone asked him a question, he paused for a moment before answering, just long enough to create tension. And something strange happened. People leaned in. They listened more carefully. Because silence, when used intentionally, creates weight. It signals control. It tells others what I say next matters. And then came the biggest shift of all, the one that truly changed how people treated him. It wasn't about speaking or timing or words. It was about willingness, the willingness to leave. One day, someone dismissed his idea mid-sentence, cutting him off completely. Old Ryan would have laughed it off, tried harder, stayed. But this time, he didn't argue, he didn't chase validation. He simply stopped speaking, gathered his things, and left the conversation. The reaction was immediate: confusion, then tension, then something deeper: respect. Because in that moment, he showed something rare. He didn't need approval. And that's the hidden rule no one tells you. The person who needs the least is valued the most. So here's the truth. Respect isn't something you ask for. It's something you demonstrate through unpredictability, through boundaries, through silence, and through your willingness to walk away. Try just one of these shifts and people will notice. Try all of them and they won't recognize you anymore. And when that happens, don't be surprised. You didn't change who you are. You just stopped hiding it.